Well, hello, I'm Jerry McKee, and welcome to Prime Time. We've got some special guests here. W4RD. I did like you did. I said, W4RD. If you don't know what that is, well, you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to find out yourself what that is. And we've got some special guests here. We'll introduce you when we come back. Right now, let's hear from La Pagada. Go out, eat some great Mexican food, some great food, good waitresses there. And of course, we all know what the clocks mean. Let's go to commercial.
Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass, Union, South Carolina, 864-429-4043. La Pagada, your family Mexican restaurants, has appetizers, child's plates, salads and soups, sandwiches, and desserts. Sizzling fajitas, Texas fajitas, shrimp fajitas. Also, they have great chicken, polo asado, chicken tenders, polo loco, and many more. If you like seafood, they have that also. Fish tacos, shrimp cocktail. They have many combinations that you can choose from in different price range. Matter of fact, they have 35 different ones. If you're a vegetarian, that's right, they can accommodate you also. Lunch menu, they have the Speedy Gonzales and about 13 others that you can make a combination with. That's La Pagada. La Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass and Union, South Carolina, 429-4043.
All right, we're back. And if you wonder what W4RD means, it means Warriors for Rare Diseases. And we're going to talk about rare diseases, and we really don't think about that until it either happens to us or happens to a loved one we know. It's, if I'm not mistaken, I read it's like 10,000 or more rare diseases out there. The top 10, I can't even pronounce their names. I did a little research on that, but it's some things that you say, well, my doctor ain't come down and give me this right here. So, and these guys here are warriors for this, and they will tell you where to go to search, ask them. You can be able to find out some information that maybe you don't know. So, with that, I'll take my beautiful face off of here. And we have Ricky here, and he is the chairman.
Right, Ricky Owens. I'm the chairman for Warriors for Rare Disease on our little board of things, and our group and all uses this as our motto, as our logo for Warriors for Rare Disease. So we're trying to increase our membership as much as we can right now and welcome anybody to join us.
Right. And I know I've seen some in the parade and stuff, and I was kind of wondering that what that was, and of course I got to talk with y'all to find out what it was, what it's about. Now, you were the president, and is it Rake?
Rakes, yes.
Okay. Now, you like Ricky here. We had Richard. Well, no, he thinks call him Ricky. You have another name. Is it
Danielle?
Danielle?
Yeah, I go by Danielle. Yes.
Okay, because I think was it Toni or something like that? Yes, that's what I thought. Lots will be proud of me remember these names. Tell a bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Danielle Rakes. I am the president and founder of Warriors for Rare Disease. We started doing this when I found out my son, Cade, was tested on his newborn screening, and he had low liver functions, which is usually a sign of Pompe disease in the newborn screening. So being a new mom, I was freaking out, and about 2 weeks later, we did find out that he was positive for Pompe disease. And from then on out, I just started trying to take control over a situation that we had no control over. And I started Cade's Crusade, which we got really heavily involved in the rare disease network. And we had a Light It Up for Rare Disease Day, which is celebrated on February 29th, every leap year, but is celebrated on February 28th every other year between that. We had a Light It Up for Rare Disease Day at the stadium.
Okay.
We're going
to come back to some of those events when we get more detailed into it like that. And Pat, introduce yourself.
I'm Pat Melton. and I am media now.
Yeah, we put you in a different spot now.
You do. But I'm
We just got to get her to text the right numbers, right?
Yeah.
yeah. But I try to help them as much as I can
Right.
because
Well,
it's you know, it's amazing to see the kids that we have reached out to. And actually, the first meeting I went to, I thought, why am I here? I don't have any kids, you know. And then I thought, I had a baby to die at 5 weeks old,
oh,
and it was crib death. But it's still, I've always wanted to do something since then. So this is
right.
where I'm at.
And y'all have a lot of different projects and a lot of different things going on. Now, Warriors for Rare Disease is a certified non-profit organization that pursues to educate, inform, provide community for those suffering from rare genetic diseases or disorders. So it's not something brand new, but it is new for Union. And being new for Union, sometimes it's hard to get the words out and stuff like that. And that's what we're doing tonight.
Absolutely.
Is get the word out there. Now, you're your child, correct? Okay. How did you know about what would give you some signs that was something wrong or?
His newborn screening is what alerted us to his rare disease. So when they prick the heel of the baby and send off blood spots to DHEC, that's how we knew.
And that disease is something that was fairly new to being checked for.
Okay.
It
Now,
hadn't been done long for that particular disease.
now, what does that disease? What does it bring? I mean, how do you tell? I know they can tell by the blood test, like that, but what is some of the outward signs or
So
long range?
for Pompe disease is actually the physical aspects, they take time to occur, but there's 3 different types. You have the infantile onset of Pompe disease, which affects infants as soon as they're born. They have no musculoskeletal movement at all. The way that our geneticist described it is just they're floppy babies. You also have early onset Pompe disease, which happens anywhere between the infant stage and 1 year of life. You'll see muscle weakness in the exterior limbs. It affects their heart, their kidneys, breathing, anything like that. Now, my son has late onset Pompe disease, which can happen anywhere from 1 year old to late adulthood. They have no really nailed down way to know when the symptoms will start.
Right.
So it's still a fairly new research disease.
So it's kind of like it's like a waiting game.
Yes.
To see, and they tell you this right when the baby's born, or when they take the blood.
After your 2 weeks of waiting for DHEC, they'll call you in. You'll get scheduled and set up with a geneticist, and then that's when you go through all the steps of what you have to do. As for my son, we had to get his blood taken every 3 months. He had to go to genetics every 3 months, and he has to have a urinalysis every 3 months when he was first born.
Now, when you found out this right here, did they give you some information, some pamphlets on what this is? Because a lot of people don't know what disease you're talking about, even heard of it. Because I looked at the top 10 and I'm saying, wow, and read a little bit about what each one does. And now you got involved with this organization here for the awareness of it. And does it come from, is it a generic thing that maybe is passed down from a family member?
Yeah.
It is.
It's heredity.
Okay. And how do you know? You know who? Because a lot of us, especially when we get older like that, we never asked our parents before us. You know, did you have anything going on or anything like that until after they passed away? And we said, well, we don't remember that. And so it's really good as we get older to pass along to our children. This is some of the things that was going on with us and things. I have a blood thing that I make too much iron, and it tells me that I've got cirrhosis of the liver, and I don't. But I have to give blood every once in a while to get the iron out. But my grandmother had that, and it's kind of like passed on down through some generations.
Wow.
So it's great to have a family tree to go back on health history. And did you research that also, or?
So, my husband and I, we didn't know that we were carriers for this particular issue. We found out when Cade was diagnosed, and they tested us, and we happened to both be carriers for Pompe disease.
You both are carriers?
And that's how our son ended up having Pompe disease instead of just being just a carrier. My mom and dad were tested, and it actually ended up coming from my mom's side of the family.
Oh, okay.
So,
What about his side of the family? If he has it as a carrier too.
As of now, his parents have not been tested, so we
Right.
don't know what side of the family that came from on his side.
Right. And that's kind of, especially when young folks start going with one another and they have a baby, and then one goes and leaves, separates for whatever reason, and so, well, I'm not going to see the baby no more and like that. It's still very important to find out the health and the background of family members. And you really don't think about that now now when it happens. And now you talk about the kids or even grown-ups having this. That what are some of the signs that I know that they took the blood there, but do you know what kind of signs that you would see as say, for instance, as a child was growing up? I know you know now, but some people out there have got children, say 10, 12, teenagers,
Right.
that either has this and don't know it yet, and then it comes in. Is there signs or anything like that you can describe?
So our geneticist told us that it depends on which gene group that is affected in the particular person. As for our son, it will affect his heart, his limbs, his breathing, any kind of musculoskeletal system in his body. It has been closely compared to muscular dystrophy,
Right.
but until somebody is tested for it, they won't know. And all it is simple blood draw. So.
And most time when we go to the doctors, we usually draw blood anyway. But are the general practice doctors? We usually got a general practice doctor we go to like that, and they usually draw blood and check this. Do they check for any of these things here, or do you have to have some symptoms before they check and say, oh, okay, we're going to check this right here? Do they actually do that?
So as for general practitioners, they don't do it. It's usually you have to be referred to a geneticist for them to be able to do it, because the test is it's expensive. But it's also, they have to be read by certain people.
Right.
So they have to send it off to a genetics lab to be read.
But that just kind of blows me away there, because we all give blood to be checked. And it looks like they would do this automatically, just to look at something that's not right with the blood or something. I guess they got to go by, well, I'm not feeling well, or I'm not doing these things here. But a lot of times, you probably know yourself that they'll check other things instead of, well, this might be a flu. How many times we went to the doctor and say, I got this right here. Oh, it's flu. I've had one check say, yeah, it's a flu, and he didn't check me. They're just going by the sniffles and things. And now we're going to go to a commercial here in a second, and move this back. Okay, I have to drive two different things. There we go. talked about you met, because obviously you're not alone with children in disease, and we talked about you met 4 other kids, and did they have the same thing or something different? No. Okay,
All different diseases.
We'll come back and talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
Pagana Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass, Union, South Carolina, 864-429-4043. La Pagana, your family Mexican restaurants, has appetizers, child's plates, salads and soups, sandwiches, and desserts. Sizzling fajitas, Texas fajitas, shrimp fajitas. Also, they have great chicken, polo asado, chicken tenders, polo loco, and many more. If you like seafood, they have that also. Fish tacos, shrimp cocktail. They have many combinations that you can choose from in different price range. Matter of fact, they have 35 different ones. If you're a vegetarian, that's right, they can accommodate you also. Lunch menu, they have the Speedy Gonzales and about 13 others that you can make a combination with. That's La Pagana. La Pagana Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass and Union, South Carolina, 429-4043.
All right, we're back, and when we left off, we was talking about there's some other children that. And how did you find out? Did you have a event or something like that you did that you found this? Tell us a little bit about that. Either one of you tell about this event that you just had, and you got one coming up this week.
We had an event called Light It Up for Rare, which is a national thing that kind of helps promote the information and stuff across the nation. What we done, we got everybody up at the stadium and had all the fire trucks and the EMS and the police and everybody, and at designated time, which is 7 p.m., all of them started flashing their lights. But we had advertised it a little bit, and during that time, we got to talking to some of the other people and all that was there and giving out some of our information, and found out that some of them started coming up talking to us about the diseases that their children had. So we ended up with, I think, 3 that night, didn't we? 3 more that night. And it was another event we had as a fundraiser and all. We've done a fish fry at Buffalo Fire Department, and we gained another one there. So as we're new and we're growing, but the longer that we go, we're hoping to get more and more people involved in it and help spread the word. And we got a lot of resources and stuff for them. Because a lot of times people with kids, they find out they got a disease, they have no idea where to turn to. You know, what's out there for them to help. We've got one organization that whenever they go to the hospitals to have surgeries and stuff like that, they'll even help with motel rooms and stuff at, like going to Charleston or places like that. So we've got little resources and stuff like that they may not know about. And a lot of times they just need a shoulder to cry on or to ask questions. And everyone that comes in, they tell us what kind of resources they have and what they've found, and we tell them what we found, and try to help each other out. Even though it's different diseases, a lot of the things that they need are still the same.
And I guess y'all trying to recruit some other families that's going through, even with these different diseases?
And anybody that wants to participate, like Pat, she doesn't really have a child with a rare disease, but anytime somebody wants to help us or volunteer their time or equipment at times or whatever we happen to be doing, we appreciate it. And the more members we can get, the more we can do for the kids.
Right, and also it's more information out there because their child's got a different disease than your child,
right? And
they can elaborate on that and maybe some different resources that they can do. And it's almost like a support group.
Yes.
And believe me, if you have a small child and it's got one of these rare diseases, you need that support group.
Absolutely.
Until it happens, you don't know. And you see all these children in school and healthy and everything, and like you said, if they got this dormant at that time and then it starts coming, it's a panic, you know, and it might take them a while to find out these symptoms. And we all know that if you use the internet and you look up symptoms, you look up, I got a cold, you're going to get 500 different remedies on there. You're going to get all things from taking goat's milk to whatever, you know, get through with it. And it's nice to use that technology, but it's better coming from someone's that experiencing all these things.
You don't know what's true and what's not true on the internet anymore, so.
No, you don't.
It's good as a basic research, but once you get into it deep, you need to talk to somebody that's actually involved in it and get the truth and separate the fiction out of it.
Right.
And we have a couple of the kids, and like Danielle's, if you've seen her little boy, you would not think nothing was wrong with him. We've got a couple like that, and then we've got a couple that you definitely can tell they have some health issues. So, I mean, you can look perfectly healthy and still have,
On the outside.
and still have something going on the inside.
Now your son, how old's your son?
He just turned 2.
Just turned 2? And
Wide
like you
open.
said, wide open.
A ball of fire, yes.
And I know you just kind of, it's a day-by-day thing watching, and hoping that with all these technology we got, it would look like someone would come up with that instant cure.
Yes.
And that's what also part of this project is that it's looking at that, isn't it? Is getting funding for these.
Yeah, we send money to the research centers and stuff, so to try to help.
Right. And I know y'all gonna be building on to where people can actually contact. They can on Facebook, each individual.
Right.
And but I know we get something set up that way they can know where they can go and donate to these organizations, and even help out with some of these fundraisers. Now, you do have a fundraiser coming up this week, actually.
That's
And
actually not a fundraiser.
That's
It's
just
a-
the lighted
an
up
awareness.
event. That's
That's
for
the-
awareness.
Oh,
That's
okay.
National Rare Disease Day.
Yeah.
February
For awareness.
29th, is it? Okay.
And we'll be at the stadium parking lot.
Right, and there's a recognition and education for all rare diseases and disorders. And that's at 7 p.m. Are you going to be, lights from the vehicles, I see it now.
Right.
And also you'll have the, around the, outside the stadium, or on the
The
parking
stadium
lot?
parking lot. The stadium parking lot we expect to be full.
Okay. And at 7
Ladies.
o'clock, everyone will be,
Anybody can park across the road or whatever if there's nowhere in the stadium parking lot, and come and join us.
and this is happening worldwide.
Yes.
And
Yes.
just to bring
It's
the
not
light-
just national. It started off national, now it's worldwide for that day.
Right. And-
Last year was the first one in Union, and we had, I think, about 75 people to come.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was like a kind of a last minute
It was.
throw together.
We found out about it and threw it together. So.
Well, that's great that you had that many awareness, and hopefully got double that coming up.
We
hope
hope
so.
so.
Yeah, because it's I see where the fire departments, EMS, law enforcement, all invited to participate, come out with their trucks, turn their lights on
Right.
at 7 o'clock.
So when you have the bigger cities, they usually light up their monuments or their big buildings in the rare disease colors. Well, with us being a small town, we're kind of just using what we have. So we asked the EMS, the firefighters, and the police to actually come out and flash their lights for us.
Well, people at home that can't get out like that, they can support by 7 o'clock. Turn your porch light on.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
Or the flashers on the car if they parked in Walmart parking lot, or
Yeah.
something. That's
something to just get that light out there.
Well, like last year, we heard a lot of people say they were like at the Mexican restaurant and went by the stadium. What's going on at the stadium? All those lights flashing up there.
that much emergency vehicles in one spot.
Yeah.
They thought a major catastrophe had happened.
Right. Now you're going to have signs out there.
We already have the sign that's lit up
Set
at
on
the stadium.
At the
It's
stadium
already
parking lot sign, it's already on hit.
Okay.
the digital sign.
Oh, okay. 'cause I've changed that for them some. And do you have like a banner or anything like that y'all put out? I know y'all put something on the parade float and things, but do y'all have a banner that, like you said, it showed the logo there that y'all created for Union?
We've got a couple of banners that we'll probably put up.
Right. Okay. And see, and people don't realize that this is some things that they can do, tools to help you with, even if they don't have a child that has a rare disease. That said, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can help get you a banner. Let me see if I can help get you something, because they got big banners out and different things like that that you can use over and over again to get the word out for this, of course. And
Every little bit helps.
yeah, and that's the main thing, isn't it? And now, when switch this here a second. When you have these events, and I've had some people write in on some other events. We just had 2 big events in Union, and I had them write and said, "Well, no, we heard about it." And it's because they failed to give a flyer out or something like that to social media. WBCU, self, and some other channels that picks up anything that's happening in Union. But if the supporters don't send it to us, then we don't know. And this happened this past weekend. And someone said, "Well, I didn't know this was going on." The tree crawlers, which is they come every year with the coon dogs and stuff, big bucks. But it wasn't really there. A lot from the outside people came in, but local people didn't. And that's very important to advertisement. And you know yourself, social media is good advertisement, good and
Yes,
bad.
it is.
It can be a gossip tree, or conflict tree, or it can be anything that you make out of it. So it's I know.
The main thing is get the information out there that we are there if they want to join us.
Right, and put your number out there, how to get a hold of you. A lot of people, you got some people don't use Facebook much,
Right.
but someone else will tell them about it. So if you get that information, phone numbers and contacts and links and all that in there, and always putting something up every day, because that refreshes. I put 4 or 5 things up throughout the day. It's like this Black History Month. I'll make sure I put 3 or 4 histories for that, because, and that's what we're supposed to get that out there. WBCU's got 10,000 followers. I got 5,000, 6,000, and when that goes out to that many people, we got to remember those people might share it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And you got 20,000, and it just keeps growing. And doing that, and now, do you take pictures of your child as he's developing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought maybe you did. Most people are going to take pictures of your kid
When he
anyway.
stops long enough to let me. So,
Well, see, that's a good thing, because it's showing progress, and that people see. Most people are visuals. You know, they'll read a little paragraph or something like that, but most of them visuals.
That's correct.
And it's like this wife's cooking show. I said 10, 15 minutes at the most. Nobody don't want to watch an hour cooking show. They get hungry.
We don't want to cook an hour.
They're gonna go to the refrigerator. Go get something.
As far as we know, all of our children will pretty much be there Thursday night, won't they?
Yeah, should be.
as long as they're not sick.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Sometimes
Most of-
they're not physically able to come.
Right now, do you have to watch? Are they acceptable for colds,
Yes.
germs, and things like that? You really have to watch.
Some of them's immune systems are very low.
Okay. So they have to wear a mask, and sometimes people want to come up, especially a small child. Oh, let me just think like it. Nowadays, it's dangerous to do that. Even regular babies. And I've seen newborns come out, and they take them out to La Pagada or go somewhere like that, where a big crowd is. And I'm thinking, they're a little too young to come out like that. I know they want to show the baby off, but I didn't know if that brought your immune system down or what.
Well, the fresh air helps them too. So
Right.
Yeah, they'll be outside.
and we try to
and
make most of our events, if we can, we try to make most of them outside, so you got the fresh air. That way, any germs and stuff is not compacted in like it is in an enclosed room or something.
More
So we try to do a lot of our stuff in more open areas whenever we have the opportunity. Sometimes you can't, but you know.
Okay. Well, we'll get back to some of your events here in just a second here, but we'll come back and we'll talk about what things you have at these events for these children to play on. Is it some normal things or things that you have to be careful with? So we'll come back and talk about that right there too. Right after y'all get hungry and go to La Pagada and eat.
Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 440.
You can talk about what we had up at Jay's.
Yeah.
La Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 440.
For the kids, you know, that would be a good one for you to talk about.
Okay, hold on a second.
La Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 440.
He said he was going to watch it.
Okay, we're going to get this on here yet. This commercial don't want to work right. And we keep getting.
Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 440.
There we go. No, we don't want to do that. That's why.
Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass, Union, South Carolina, 864-429-4043. La Pagada, your family Mexican restaurants, has appetizers, child's plates, salads and soups, sandwiches, and desserts. Sizzling fajitas, Texas fajitas, shrimp fajitas. Also, they have great chicken, polo asado, chicken tenders, polo loco, and many more. If you like seafood, they have that also. Fish tacos, shrimp cocktail. They have many combinations that you can choose from in different price range. Matter of fact, they have 35 different ones. If you're a vegetarian, that's right, they can accommodate you also. Lunch menu, they have the Speedy Gonzales and about 13 others that you can make a combination with. That's La Pagada. La Pagada Mexican Restaurant, 441 North Duncan Bypass and Union, South Carolina, 429-4043.
by my CPAP machine.
All right, we're back, and we was talking about some of these events. What are some of the things that that you're going to have, say, for children? Because people say, well, can they play? You know, what kind of things can they play on? I guess it just really depends on how advanced the disease is.
Right.
But what some of the things that y'all think about that you put forth to think about this, because you have a child this way, and you want to let them have fun, but you also want to be safe.
So that was one of our first questions when we started doing this. So what we had planned, I kind of wanted people to get out to meet the children and just to kind of see that they're no different from them. You know, they may have something or may look physically different, but they're still children. So Jay at Snippet Spa and Salon, he has been one of our biggest supporters, and he had actually let us have a family fun day event in their parking lot. We rented a bunch of inflatables, we cooked, and our kids and, you know, people who brought their kids out to support us, they all played on the inflatables together and just had a great time. You know, just to show them that, you know, these kids are no different than, you know, say regular kids.
Right, and that's something that people forget. They want to treat them like something different. I used to manage group homes for adults and children challenged, and we always we treat them just like us.
That's the way the kids want to be treated.
Yes.
Right.
They want to be accepted as close to normal as they can be. And the event, like what she was talking about, it gave us an opportunity for people just to stop by, and it was just riding by and just stop, see what was going on, and get some more of the information out.
Okay. Now, on this flyer has the 28th of February, and y'all are doing the 29th.
The 28th is the normal day, but leap year is the 29th. It's always
Right.
the last day of February.
Last day of February. Okay.
Right.
All right, now I'm glad to clear it up. And the official rare disease colors that people can wear is, I see that you can wear either pink, green, blue, or purple. So that day I'll make sure I have one of those on. It's probably not the pink, but probably get into purple or blue or green, but I do have pink shirt too. But, and that's good. That's just, it's showing that you'll wear this. And I'm just kind of bumfounded a little bit that Union hadn't been aware of this all these years.
That's true.
And I know that you've got children here that's, even grown-ups with these rare diseases, because like you said, well, they could be grown-ups and it come on them then, correct?
That's correct.
Or does it kind of run out, outgrow it?
No. A lot of the parents that we had talked to and actually got to know, some of them have multiple children, and myself, I just have one, and another one of our ladies just has one child. But if you are in a multiple child household, or you feel like you're struggling with this by yourself, you really just don't know where to start. My problem is that I have a big mouth, and I know a lot of people who know a lot of people, and they just helped us get this up and started running. And I wanted to form a community, especially for the moms who are pretty much the backbone of taking care of the children and making sure they're where they need to be and making sure they're taken care of, to feel like they had somebody to take care of them also.
Right.
So I know it's really helped me, and I know it's helped a lot of the other moms that I'm actually in contact with.
If you're being a mother of a child with this rare disease, what about the diet? Do you have to really plan a different diet, or can they just...
Depends on the disease.
Okay.
Now, my son, they encourage us to do more protein-based food, but he can eat anything just like anybody else. His favorite food is pizza right now.
Right.
Pizza and chips. He doesn't get pizza and chips all the time, though. Another one of our children, he's 3, and he eats like a lot of oatmeal and stuff like that because it's easier for him to swallow.
Right.
Another one of our kids, he has a feeding tube. So it just depends on their disease and the capabilities that they have.
So it just depends on that, what the diet is. And so I can't imagine a little child not be able to eat ice cream or,
We've got some that can't.
right, and something like that. And it's just really is. Now, I'm looking at this flyer here, and I'm curious about one thing. Caution, blind driver.
That's a
Tell me
group-
about that.
That's a group that a band that I got in touch with, or rather they got in touch with me when we started putting this out for this event on the 27th of April. Caution Blind Driver, the name comes from the guy that's actually the drummer in the band. It's the man's son, and he's totally blind.
Oh, okay.
So, and he says that he drives the band. So it's Caution Blind Driver.
That's why we got all the braille on the road now.
Right, all them little reflectors that click, 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 and then little
That's braille
ridges.
driving.
Yes. Well,
But they have a lot of good music and stuff. They can play just about anything,
right.
and they've been very, very supportive of us.
Does the son play anything?
He plays the drums for the band.
He's the drummer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah, he's the drummer.
Man. Now, I know Quest, I know them personally. I've videoed them quite a bit. They always bring a crowd, and they're a good playing band, too. Dolphin Wells, I don't know if I've
He's actually my uncle. He actually sings a lot in Nashville. He's actually playing at the Grand Ole Opry here later this year.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yep. So he does a lot of Christian-based music, but he can do pretty much anything. So.
Yeah, well, it's, I'm trying to think of his name now. He's going to be up in Nashville up there. Well, Alan Jackson, of course, and Monty.
Monty Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school with Monty. So.
Yeah, Monty's got some, he sings great too. And all. Area 49, I've interviewed him and had their music on. So they're good groups. So you got some great groups here. Bo Sumner.
I actually grew up around his kids. He was best friends with my parents. But he used to DJ in Clinton at some bar. I forgot the name of it. But he's been surrounded by music all his life also, as has his wife and pretty much their whole family. His wife's brother actually does live shows in Florida, and Karaoke Star, I do believe, is actually on cruise ships that he runs.
Okay.
So
You sing karaoke?
I do.
I do too. I used to take the music. I probably got 5,000 karaoke songs. Jacob.
Jacob Bueno.
Okay.
I know him personally also. We went to school together. And he actually does music. He goes around the different clubs and everything and is trying to get his name out there.
Oh, okay.
And so we've pretty much given everybody an opportunity to get their brand out.
And
all these are locals.
Local people,
right.
yeah.
And you know, and I do know this, that Union has got some talent in Union.
We
Yes,
do.
they do.
To me, per capita like that, it's the #1 entertainment in the United States, all the cities. Because there's a lot of great talent here. David Earl Lawson.
He actually goes out to church at Paget's Creek.
Oh, okay.
So-
I've seen him before, and just didn't know his
He's
name.
got several albums and stuff out. So.
Yeah. And now all this, you're going to have games, a lot of good food,
We hope so.
and vendors. Well, this is going to be at Union County Fairgrounds, Saturday, April 27th, at 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
And we've got some of the food trucks that said they want to be there at 5 a.m. to start prepping because they're going to serve breakfast too.
Oh, wow.
So we're hoping all that works out.
That'd be some good breakfast, wouldn't it? And how, do you know how many food trucks or vendors you got coming?
We're still accepting people if they want to come in.
People
Oh, okay.
are getting
We're
in
still-
touch with us every day about wanting to set up tables or booths or everything. So
And we've got all the whole building all rented too. So so we're gonna have booths and stuff indoors and outdoors and food trucks outdoors. So
Well, I know when doing these events like this, the weather, you got to say, oh gosh, this is into April showers, bring me
Exactly.
flowers, but with you having all the buildings there, makes a big difference.
And we will have the show shine cars will be there for people to see.
Oh, okay. I always enjoy coming seeing them, all those old cars they have.
They're
and
interesting.
any age group can participate in the Fortnite and the cornhole tournaments too.
Oh, okay. So
another
that's
page.
part of the games. They got
That's
on
part
there.
of the games, yes.
Okay. Do they have to give anything as far as the feeds to?
Yes.
So there's an entry fee, and the winners of either tournament will get half of the proceeds,
Oh, okay.
and then they can either take the proceeds and go, or if they want to donate part of it back, that's up to them. But just depends on who wins. So
And-
that's up to them.
we also have a lot of local shops coming out to help do shows. The K-Band Pet Store is actually coming out to do a showcase of their animals. Josh Meadows.
They got some exotic animals.
They
like
do.
That.
I've been seeing a lot on Facebook, and I'm like, I really want to go.
My granddaughter, she loves creepy things like that. She
Same.
loves it. There was this great big lizard got in their house, and my son-in-law is a DEA agent, and daughter teaches school, and this lizard got in there. They both were screaming like little girls, and my granddaughter went in there. Oh, picks it up, takes it outside. And they said, what? Well, she loves creepy things like that. And I was telling her about kabams.
K-BAM.
K-BAM, okay. About that. Matter of fact, me and him have been talking about getting him on the show here. And I need to go by and see him, maybe just come by and set up at his store. And that way we're there and they can take things out they want to take out and show and stuff like that.
So we're looking at them to come out to showcase some of their animals. Josh Meadows, the local tattoo artist,
Right.
he's coming out to do temporary tattoos for kids,
Oh,
kind
that's
of like
good.
how he did at Halloween. So we have a lot of local talent coming out and helping us out that day.
I believe you're going to have a big crowd with this lineup that you got right here.
We're hoping to.
Just in the music itself.
We're hoping.
If anybody wants to come out, just get in touch with us. We'll give them a spot.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you contacted the peanut guys or the
I've tried to get in touch with one of them, but I don't know if some information got to him or not.
right. I know Trent and the Davises do it and all produce things. So it's an opportunity for them to give back to the community.
Right.
And that's the key thing. Is this is a fun thing, but it's a serious thing. It's not just something that, well, we just go there and just have a big old party, and we're having this big old party, and that's it. But it's not. This is something that's very serious. That these are these children's lives and the families' lives. That they have no clue what you have to deal with on a daily basis.
And the great thing about like being a nonprofit, like we're not expecting to make any money off this. Like I said, we were looking at other events today about how much people charge for vending spots. All of ours are $10, and you keep your money. You know, if you want to donate to us, then that's fine. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. The food trucks, we're charging, just 10% of their profits that they make the day.
Donate 10%.
And that's it.
That's cheap.
Yeah, so
And-
we're not doing this for the money, even though the money helps, especially when we donate to all the different research groups and all that good stuff. So it's pretty much helping the kids and for research.
No,
And helping us grow.
right, and that's the main thing. And you don't have to have a child that's got any type of disease to join y'all's group.
That's correct.
You can come in, help us volunteer. Everything is strictly volunteer basis.
Right.
Like I said, it's nonprofit. We don't get paid for any of this. We spend all our days out here showing support for the kids. And like Miss Pat, you know, she's not, you know, isn't a mother of one of these kids, but she loves all these kids
Right.
like it's her own, you know. So she comes out and she volunteers her time and spends hours upon hours with us in meetings and events and everything else.
Takes a lot of time to set up an event like this.
It does.
It does. People don't realize how much
We had to
work
start
is in the
this one
background.
way back in December to get this one planned.
And usually when you have a big event like this, when you're through with that, you're not through because you're planning the next year
Right.
event to it. And I've been involved with a lot of different events. I know how it takes a lot of time,
It
a
does.
lot of work in the background. People just don't realize how. And you're sitting there, every day it gets closer. Is this going to work out? Is this going to have a crowd? We're going to have this right here. And it's constantly active because you want this to be good.
And this is being planned by 10 to 12 people. So it's a lot of work and a lot of hours.
Right.
So
Now y'all, I guess you will have a booth there with all the information
Yes.
that they can ask questions. Have you got any guests that will come there that maybe outside of Union that's got maybe works in a doctor's office or works?
I've actually reached out to a geneticist at Greenwood Genetics in Greenville, and if her schedule is free, she is coming out to talk about the different rare diseases that our children are suffering with, because a lot of our children do go up there. So.
Oh, okay, great. Now, do cheap prices for these vendors and stuff. I was looking at admission. You got admission $10 per person, with children 6 and under free.
Right. Because it's really for the kids, you know. If
Right.
they got small kids, then you know,
We want them to come out and be able to enjoy the day. I said we're having the pet store come out. We're having people who do go-kart racing and stuff bringing their carts out, you know, for the children to see and look at and, you
not
know.
ride.
No,
Right.
but just to learn about different things that they could get involved in, you know, and stuff, you know.
Variety.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And I know me as a kid, getting to see, climb up in a fire truck or sit in a police car just to see all this stuff in it and what it looks like, to me was better than anything.
You know, and we've been told that if they're doing anything for profit, they'll have to have a city one-day event license and all
Oh, okay.
through the city.
So they will have to get that if they were.
If they're going to do anything for profit.
Profit.
They have
Okay.
to go get those.
Now, also,
we
they
have
got
copies.
people bring a chair. Y'all don't have chairs out there for them. Spend a day.
Well, there's some chairs, but we recommend people to bring their own personal chairs so they can sit.
Comfortable.
Because the music's going to be playing all day.
Right. And you want to, and see, you can spend all day there eating food, and that'd be me. I'll be finding funnel cakes and everything else. And also, they need to know that no personal coolers allowed. Coolers.
Right. Now, if the vendor needs a cooler, that's one thing. But as far as the
General public.
coming in, then we having to do that. Just like at a restaurant, they say no outside food stuff. So
Well,
that's-
yeah, and you got some that would probably want to bring some, I call it beverage.
Right, and that's not allowed.
Right, there, it's a wholly different.
Yeah, that's on
different
city
license
property.
stuff.
We can't do that.
Now, being a nonprofit, are you able to submit for grants?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I thought by becoming a nonprofit that you're able to do that. Have you written any or going to? Or
So, because we are so new, we're still in the process of getting some of our paperwork done and actually waiting to hear back from the IRS about our 501c3 and stuff
Right.
like that. So,
We've got our incorporation and all of that, and we've got our EIN number, but we haven't got
Yeah.
paperwork back from the IRS for the actual.
I guess tax season done got us. You know.
well, yeah, right between that, and they're no big hurry either, so that makes a little difference. I'm just looking over some of your. Now you're going to have a silent auction,
Right.
okay?
And we'd love for people to donate stuff for it.
Like I said,
Maybe clocks.
Yes,
Jay
we
and
we
Brian.
take lots.
Jay and Brian at Snippet Spa Salon,
Right.
they have donated a keratin treatment and 3 highlights from different people in their salon. The keratin treatment is $375 by itself,
Right.
and I do believe the highlights are what, $150, $170.
$170 a piece.
Yes.
And he's donating all that.
Wow.
Josh-
My wife goes there, so.
Oh, I love them.
Now, well, she'll know exactly what it's talking
Oh,
about.
yes, she does. Yes.
Josh Meadows, especially coming out doing the tattoos, he actually donated a tattoo certificate
For up to $150.
starting out at $150.
Yeah.
Because I do believe he charges by the hour. So
Right.
Right.
a lot of everybody is helping us out already by donating these big items. For the Fortnite tournament, we're actually going to raffle off the computers used that they were donated to us, and we're going to raffle them off after the tournament.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me about the Fortnite.
Our Fortnite expert is actually one of the
That's Sean,
dads
yeah.
of the children.
Oh, okay.
So he is our expert Fortnite person.
Now, has he got a few computers up that he does this with, or how's that?
He's involved with somebody that's going to donate the computers.
Oh, okay.
He said once we reach the amount on the raffle for the actual cost of the computers, anything above that comes back to the organization.
Wow. Well, that's great.
So, but he's going. No, they are kind of a little limit on that, but that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, you got
I've got so many people interested in Fortnite, all the teenagers, and it could be any age.
We have adults interested.
Yeah,
in
there's
that.
a lot of adults interested in this, and it's any age.
Yeah, see, I-
Some of the kids will beat the adults, you know. That's,
Exactly. I know some kids. It's great at that. My grandson now is great at it. To me,
Yeah.
I don't like to play games because I lose. and so I'm not putting my way through that.
yeah.
And but I watch them doing all these clicking and clicking and jumping and doing all this stuff here. I said, wow. And I did one time like it and he almost got sick, got motion sickness. and I asked, is that supposed to be good? He says, well, some people get it.
And then the cornhole tournaments too. It's going to be they'll win half of the entry fees on all on that. Whoever wins it. So.
Well, that is, that's two good games. I was just wondering about the Fortnite, though. That's pretty cool. And of course, with the silent auctions, with things there, they have to be present to win when you do that.
Right. The way we're doing that and all, everything has to leave that night. So we.
Well, y'all got to clean up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. We got
That's
when
a
we
big
get out of there, we don't want to have to hunt somebody to. So they have to be present at the drawings, but that won't be at the very end of the evening. But we're going to pick a time between the bands or something, or at a break on a band to do the actual drawings and stuff for those.
Oh, that's good.
Well, this silent auction, you get a package of tickets for what we charge for the envelope of tickets, and then they can put whatever they want to in whatever jar for whatever item they want
Right.
to win.
Oh, okay.
So that way, that if you want more chance of winning something in particular, then you
More
put more
tickets.
tickets in that one.
Yeah.
And you can buy as many envelopes of tickets as you want
Well,
to
that's,
increase your chances.
that's good. At mine, I'd buy all them tickets and be one ticket left, I'd lose. Wife would win, I'd lose. And this is 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Y'all going to be there way after.
Yeah, we'll be
11
there
p.m.
way before and way after, most likely.
Yeah, so that's a lot. I see you got 10 foot by 10 by 10 outdoor spots for tables.
Right. And the indoor spots too, depending on.
Whatever your preference is.
Right.
Right, and that's again,
Some people likes to be outdoors if the weather's good, and because people will see them first.
right.
So
Yes.
so they catch people before they go into the buildings, and so just depends on what their preference is.
And that's again $10 each, with you supplying your own tables, canopy, and chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to be outside.
that's right. Because y'all don't furnish the tents.
Yeah, we don't support furnished tents or the tables. Even on the inside, they'll bring their own tables and stuff, and if they need to sit down, then they'll bring their little fold-up chairs or whatever. So
Yeah. And
at
this,
that price, you can't beat it.
no, you can't. And letting the word out, even with this, not only letting the people know is there, it's also letting the local restaurants and all them know, because a lot of times you get a crowd, of course we don't eat all the vendors' food and stuff like that. Sometimes they want to go out to eat and stuff, and this already beforehand, before they get to a certain band, they want to go there in that time. And it floods the restaurants. And it just kind of gives them a heads up. Oh, I need to have some extra food prep. And see, I heard this past weekend, or this past week or so, on that from some couple of restaurants saying, we knew we wouldn't run out or stuff like that.
Well, even the restaurants and stuff, if they're interested in help support us, they can donate gift cards or anything like that also. So
Yeah. Well, and on the silent auction said if you'd like to donate the items back, they can do that. Is that what I said? If you'd like to donate items for it's not back to it. Yeah. Well, I've seen some people do that. Just like
Right.
if they win the say
Right.
the 50-50, on some of these games like that. They say, you know what? I'm just going to give this to the organization.
right, that's up to them.
Which
Right.
Kenny Puckett helped us with that too. He actually did a cake auction for us, and I think one cake or cupcakes ran through the bid like 6 times.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've given Kenny, he's been a great sport. We've given Kenny a lot of cakes and things like that. And we watch him cake with us. $100 for that cake, but it's
But
not,
it's for the
Yeah.
fundraiser that they're doing it for.
That's
It's
right.
not the value of the cake. It's the
Exactly.
It gives them a reason to compete to give
And
money.
someone new compete to that, you know.
And
It's,
it's fun.
I've been at regular auctions before, and people
Right.
get a little thing. If you would, if people would like to get a hold of you and either be part of the entertainment, volunteer, join. Volunteers is good, aren't they?
Absolutely.
To help the Warrior family, they can contact Danielle Rakes at 864-251-293. They can text you, or they can text Ricky Owens at 864-426-4098, or Facebook, Cage Crusade, or email rareawareness@yahoo.com. So there's all ways they can get a hold of each one of you. And also they can send me a message, and I know how to get a hold of you. And I'm going to put a couple of these flower things on my page, and I'll also save them back a little bit, because when it gets closer to that time, repost them, because if we don't, people forget,
Yeah.
Right.
like me.
Right now.
Well, the time...
We started advertising early. That way we can get some vendors and stuff in there. So.
Right. And like you said, you plan a year ahead of time, right? Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here. I've learned some things about rare diseases, and only a smidget. I know y'all got tons and tons of information on this. I encourage people to contact y'all to learn more about it. Come to these events to where you can really get pamphlets and things like that. That if you just have questions, so that's going to help them a lot.
Now, on the Facebook page for Cage Crusade, we do have information about the other kids, but also another set of the parents, the Live Rights. They do have a Facebook page for their son, and it's called Noah's Journey with CDG.
Okay.
And it is very interesting to watch, and just the improvements that Noah's made from the time we've met him till now, it's amazing.
Well, see, that way they can contact y'all. If you can have links on your page to do that. So I encourage everyone to, even if you don't have children, or if you plan on having children, you need to know these things. So, well, I'd like to thank all of y'all being here. And
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
well, you're welcome. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and next week, I'm not going to tell you who. Never do till that time next week, this weekend. Next weekend, you'll know who's coming, and so you got to watch out for it. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching Prime Time